so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Oh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Oh, Lord.
We're talking to Gerald Celente, the Trends Research Institute. The website is trendsresearch.com. Now, I remember writing an article about a prediction that Gerald made, I believe it was back in 2008, when he talked about these tax rebellions. And this was before the emergence of the Tea Party, which, of course, in its embryonic form, was this anti-tax movement. It's since been largely infiltrated by the Republican Party. But just another example of even just in the last couple of years, one of Gerald's predictions in his Trends Research journal has come to fruition. Now, Gerald, I want to talk about neo-survivalism. This is something that's mentioned in your most recent issue. How is this going to manifest itself? Are we talking food gardens, people buying more land, you know, people going back to the simple life, to farming? Or are we talking about a more interconnected model of survivalism with a return to things like the old-fashioned cooperatives? How are we going to see this unfold?
Well, it's just about how you summed it up. It's a combination of the two. It's rugged individualism and working together as a community. Be dealing with people that you can trust, like-minded people. And buying local it's another big one. You know, Paul, this is a perfect grasshopper and ant winter that we're going into. The summer was one, remember they told us, of a summer of recovery, to quote the great Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States and literary genius. And here we are. There's no recovery. Even the cover-up didn't work. The stimulus is running out. But how many people, like the grasshopper, were dancing and believing in the tune being spun out of the White House? And they're not preparing for what we see as one of the harshest economic winters in living memory. And I use that word winter, you know, not to be taken literally as it's only going to be this winter, but for a long time to come. So in neo-survivalism, it's also important to understand that that ant lives in a colony. It can't do it by itself, regardless of how hard it works in trying to prepare for the future. The colony is going to be the strongest when they all work together. And that's something, by the way, that's been pulled out of society by the very people that are selling it to us. The Madison Avenue, Hollywood, Washington, Wall Street fraternity. They keep telling us about rugged individualism. You can do it on yourself, supermom. You're an independent single person. You don't need anybody. Make it on your own. In the meanwhile, they're doing all the deals. Try getting into their club and pulling off one. You'll never get in there unless you're a member of the Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Bullets, Bombs, and Banks fraternity. So what's going on is that in neo-survivalism, people really have to understand and think truly like the ant, because we're only hearing part of the parable and not looking at the other end of it. It's going to be very difficult times. Join up with as many people as you can. And not only to join up for survival, but to also help move us into a more prolific future. What do I do personally? I don't buy corporate food. None of it. I won't eat it. I'm Italian. I know what good food is, and I won't eat this stuff. So support your local. I just went to a restaurant the other day, and I ordered a Stoli on the rocks. And the woman said to me, "We only have American brand vodkas." And they had a whole list of them. I said, "All right, that's terrific." And they only have local eggs. Not eggs from these so-called factory farms, these chicken coop concentration camps. How about a nice sunny side up egg from Auschwitz farms. I mean, how could people eat that stuff? Half a billion of them being recalled, and the FDA hadn't been there in a year. So the neo-survivalism, yes, it starts with the individual, but spreads to the community.
Okay, that sounds like a plan to me. And we're going to go to your calls for Gerald Celente in the next segment. This is the Alex Jones Show at prisonplanet.tv. Stay right there.